Dear student, in previous video session of design compression member, we discussed about design procedure of compression member as per IS 800-2007 and solve one example of analysis of truss. In this video session, we'll cover the example of design of strut, analysis of column and design of column section. So first we start design of angle strut. So the example is design of double angle discontinuous strut to carry factor load of 200 kilonewton. The length of member is 3 meter between intersects. The two angle are placed back to back on same side of gusset plate. Assume Fe 410 steel with Fy 250 MPa. So we know that two types of double angle are there. One is back to back on the same side of gusset plate and second is back to back on opposite side of gusset plate. So here back to back on same side of gusset plate are given. So for that angle are connected to the same side of gusset plate as per IS 800 clause number 7.5.2.2. The member is designed as two single ISA section. So as per the codal provision, we divided into two separate single section. So load is given to you for double angle. So it converted into the single angle. So it divide by 2. So first step we found load for single angle. So 200 divided by 2 it means 100 kilonewton. So we can design a single angle to resist 100 kilonewton compressive load. Now next is effective length. So effective length is depend on the different end condition of column, but here directly effective length is given to you. It means between two intersection. It means it directly given effective length 3 meter. Converted into mm, it means 3000 mm. Assume slenderness ratio KL upon R 120. So here I mentioned that you have to assume slenderness ratio KL upon R 120. So assume slenderness ratio for trial section. If you design single ISA, it should be 120. If you design double ISA, it should be 100. So please note down that two value of slenderness ratio. If you have to design single ISA, at that time you have to take 120. If you have to design double ISA, you have to take 100. So according to slenderness ratio, we can use table number 9C. Why 9C? So there are four table is given in IS 800, 9A, B, C and D. According to our buckling class of section, we can use 9C because here double angle are given to you. It means one type of composite section. So if any composite section according to table number 9, we found buckling class as a C. So we use 9C. According to 9C, we found FCD value 83.7 Newton per mm square. Of course, is a stress, so that unit should be Newton per mm square. Now next, we required area of gross to resist this compression force. It means 100 kilonewton. So same equation we use. P is equal to Ag into Fd. In that equation, we derive the equation of Ag. So Ag required is equal to P upon FCD. Here P is a design compressive load. Please note down that here not you take P is equal to 200. The data given to you 200 kilonewton for double angle. Now we design a single angle. So for that you have to take P is equal to 100 kilonewton converted into the Newton. So it should be a 100 into 10 raised to 3 Newton divided by FCD. So already we calculate FCD 83.7. So area of gross required 1195 mm square. It means if you resist 100 kilonewton compressive load, you required gross area 1195 mm square. So we choose one trial section according to steel table that the area should be maximum of 1195 mm square. Now how can choose the trial section? So three satisfy criteria are there. First, area of gross. It means your area of gross of trial section should be more than 1195 mm square. Second, section classification according to table 2, and your slenderness ratio lambda KL upon R should be less than 180. So we choose as a trial section 90 by 90 by 8. Here I mentioned that if double angle strut design you have to calculate, always choose equal section. It means both the length of angle should be same. Here 90 by 90 by 8 mm we take as a trial section. According to steel table, that area should be 1379 mm square. So you can see that it should be greater than 119 mm square. Now next calculate R minimum. It means the two value we can see in steel table, RUU and RVB. Before we find out R minimum, two value we found, RUU and RVB. It means RXX and RYY. Smaller of these two value we take as a R minimum. Once we find out R minimum, found out KL upon R. So effective length is given to you, KL upon R 171.42. So our second satisfaction criteria are fulfilled, that KL upon R should be 180. So our trial section is okay according to area is concerned, according to KL upon R is concerned. Now third criteria, section classification. So we take three ratio, B by T, D by T, B plus D by T. So here equal section are there. So B by T and D by T are same. It should be found 15.7 epsilon, less than 15.7 epsilon, and B plus T divided by less than 25 epsilon. So since all three conditions are satisfied, then the section is semi-compact. So this section classification is used to table number 2, page number 18, according to IS 800 2007. Next, area of effective. Once we all three criteria are satisfied and we found that our section is semi-compact, so our area of gross is same as area of effective for semi-compact section. So I'll directly take AE is equal to same area of gross 1379 mm square. Now assume two bolt at each end with fixed end condition. Here we mention two bolt in each end, means one for gusset plate from left hand side, one gusset plate from right hand side. So now we find out K1, K2, K3 as per IS 800 table number 12. So as per IS table number 12, the end condition is assume both end are fixed. So for that we can find out K1, K2, K3. Then we find out lambda VV. So lambda VV equation is given to you IS 800 2007. L upon RVV divided by epsilon under root of pi square E upon 250. So all value are there in our previous steps. So just we put this value and find out lambda VV and lambda phi. Here lambda phi is again one equation are there, B1 plus B2 divided by 2 times T divided by epsilon under root pi square E upon 250. Here B1 and B2. So B1 is connected leg and B2 is outstanding leg. So here equal section are there. So B1, B2 both value are same. It means 90. So find out lambda VV, lambda phi. After find out lambda VV and lambda phi, we find out slenderness ratio lambda E. So the lambda E, the equation is under root of K1, K2, K1 plus K2 plus lambda VV plus K3 into lambda phi square. So K1, K2, K3 are constant, is given to you table number 12 in IS 800. Lambda VV and lambda phi we already calculate. So we calculate lambda E, effective slenderness ratio. After find out lambda E, we find out imperfection factor alpha. So imperfection factor alpha is given in table number 7, page number 35 in IS 800 2007. So we know that for built up section buckling class is C. So alpha is 0.49. After find out imperfection factor, we got the value of phi and stress reduction factor J. Then final design compressive strength FCD. So we know that the equation of FCD according to clause number 7.1.2.1, page number 34 in IS 800. FCD is equal to reduction factor multiplied by Fy divided by partial safety factor. So we found FCD is equal to 83.64 Newton per mm square. Of course, is the compressive stress, so the unit should be Newton per mm square. Next, design compressive strength PD. So PD is equal to A into FCD. So area effective we can find out, FCD we have to find out. So we now find out PD. So A into FCD, we put the value in kilonewton 115.34. Now we can design 2 ISA. So multiply by 2 of find out the PD. So for 2 ISA, design compressive stress should be 230.67. In our data, we register 200 kilonewton, but we put 90 by 90 by 8 2 angle in same side of gusset plate. It registers 230.67. It means our section is safe to advance compressive design. So here provide 2 ISA 90 by 90 by 8 mm on same side of gusset plate. You have to see in figure 90 by 90 by 8 same side of gusset plate. It takes resist 230.67 kilonewton. In our design requirement we satisfy 200 kilonewton. So our trial section is okay. If the PD is smaller than 200, so we change our trial section and repeat our same step. So please mention that here you have to satisfy 3 criteria before you choose trial section. One, area. Second one is section classification, and third one is KL upon R should be less than 180. Then and then you have to go forward the next step. Otherwise you have to stop and change your trial section. Next we start analysis of column. So data of analysis of column here that determine the design axial load of column section ISHB 300 having height 3 meter, hinge at both end, Fy is equal to 250. So here analysis of column for column is data is given to you. So how can I again identify the column is analysis or design? So I mention in strut also. Here I mention for column. If the column section is given in your data, it means your example should be analytic. If only load are given, you can find out section, then the example is your design. So here first we start design analysis of compression. So column section is given ISMB 350. ISMB it means Indian Standard Medium Beam. So you go through the steel table in ISMB 350. You found this few value and noted down. First one is area of section. BF means thick width of flange. B means half flange width. TF means thickness of flange. TW means thickness of web. H means height of section. R root radius. RZZ and RYY. This few value you have to note it down according to steel table if any section is given to you. Next, first one is section classification. So for I section classification we found two ratio for flange B by TF and for web D by TW. So flange width is we found according to steel table, so we calculate ratio B by TF and it should be 9.4 epsilon. So the flange will be in plastic. Now web we calculate D upon TW. So D it's not directly given in steel table, you can find out according to H. So total height of section is given to you 350. In that you deduct 2 times of root radius. You have to see in your data. Root radius is 14 and your thickness of flange is 14.2. So we find out D. H minus 2 times root radius plus thickness of flange. So deduct into total height, you can find out D, means effective depth of section, and then find out D by TW 36.42. It means smaller than 42 epsilon. So your web is semi-compact. So here flange and web are both in different section, means plastic and semi-compact. So flange and web both are fully effectively. So full cross-sectional area is available. So AE is a same as area of gross. It means 6671 mm square. Next we find out effective length. So here both end are hinged. So according to table number 11, KL is equal to 1L. It means 1 times your original length. 3 meter is given in our data. It means 3000 mm. Now buckling curve classification. For buckling curve classification, we required R minimum. So R minimum we found according to steel table, minimum value of RYY and RXX. So in our case, R minimum is equal to 28.5. Now failure is by buckling about minor axis YY. So RYY is minimum. That means our failure axis is IYY. So we conduct IY section for a failure axis. According to that, table number 10, we found H by BF ratio and TF. For failure about YY axis, use buckling curve B. According to table number 10, we know that what is the buckling curve about YY axis. So in that you can find out two ratio H by BF and T. These both value are decided about buckling class of that YY axis. So in our case, according to table number T, H by BF is 2.5. It means it greater than 1.2, and TF 14.2. It means less than 40. So this criteria is satisfied about curve B. Then next, for curve B, that's why we use table number 9B. So first we find out KL upon R minimum. It means RYY. We found the KL upon R minimum according to table number 9B. Here in this table, in horizontal axis, different KL upon RYY is given, and in vertical axis FY is given. So our FY is 250 and KL upon R minimum is 105.63. It means we find out the value of 100 and 110. In between we get interpolation. How we find out interpolation? So we found 4 value for 250. 100 is FCD and 110. So in between 100 and 110, the difference is 10. And how we find out the value? 105.63. So minus 100, it means 5.63. The difference between 10 is 14. So what would be the difference at 5.62? So we found 7.882. So we deduct the FCD value of 110. So finally we got FCD 110.12 Newton per mm square. So this type of interpolation are you have to found between these two value 100 and 110 according to 9B. Next and last step, once we find out FCD, we got PD. PD is equal to A into FCD. So it should be a 734.61 kilonewton. Only find out PD because it's the example of analysis. For rolled I section, normally IYY is minimum. So please mention that if you have to use I section, so in that case normally RYY is minimum. So buckling class should be find out II axis only. Next we start design of column. So design a steel column to carry flexure axial load of 1500 kilonewton. The length of column is 3.6 meter and hinge at both the end. So this is the design example of column. How can identify that this example is design? So here load is given to you but section is not given to you. It means you have to find out section to resist this compression force. and length is given 3.6 meter and end condition both end are hinge. So according to load we find out first FCD. So FCD assume 0.6 times Fy. Here I mentioned that FCD value may be assumed between 0.4 times Fy to 0.6 times Fy. So in between that you assume the FCD. Because we have to design as a larger force of compression, it means 1500 kilonewton. So we got higher side of assumption value, it means 0.6 times Fy. But you can assume the value between 0.4 times Fy to 0.6 times Fy. So here in our case, we assume FCD is equal to 0.6 times Fy. It means 150 Newton per mm square. After finding out FCD, we required area of gross. So again, same equation you use in a design of strut. Here the same equation we use P upon FCD. So P is given to you in our data. FCD we found out. So for P, we required area of gross 100 centimeter square. It means if you resist 1500 kilonewton compressive force as a column, so you required minimum 100 centimeter square area of gross. Next, so for 100 centimeter square, we choose trial section from steel table. So for that, we mention the criteria of area. So here, which type of section we have to choose? So ISHB 477.4 kg per meter. It means that weight is 77.4 kg per meter. In that section, area is 9866 mm square. So we required 100 centimeter square. It means 10,000 mm square. But maximum size of steel table is given to you 9866 mm square. So we choose ISMB 477.4. ISHB, it means Indian Standard Heavy Beam. So area is 9866 mm square, H is 400 mm square, BF 250, TF 12.7, TW 9.1, root radius 14, RZZ and RYY. So this list of properties you can evaluate according to steel table. Now our first step, same section classification according to table number 2. So I section we have to use. So we find out different 2 ratio for flange and web. For flange we found B by TF and from web we found D by TW. So again I mentioned that D is not given to you in steel table. You can find out according to H. So D is equal to H minus 2 times TF plus R. So TF is 12.7 and R is 40. So we can calculate D, and D by TW we found the web ratio for section classification. So flange should be less than 10.5 epsilon and web should be less than 42 epsilon. So flange are in compact section and web are in semi-compact section according to table number 2, page number 80 in IS 800. So now full section is effective. So area of gross is equal to area of effective. So we take AE is equal to same as AG. So AE is 9866 mm square. Now next find out effective length. So according to table number 11, page number 44, we found effective length KL is equal to 1 times L because we given the end condition both end are hinge. So effective length we calculate 3600 mm. Now buckling curve classification. So according to table number 10, page number 44, we required 2 ratio H by BF and TF. H by BF should be 1 point greater than 1.2 and TF is less than 40. For buckling about YY axis, we use curve B. As I mentioned, if you use rolled I section, always failure about YY axis. So since minimum failure by buckling about YY axis, and for that YY axis we use section buckling curve as a B according to table number 10. So next again we find out KL upon R value, and it should be a less than 180. It means our trial section is okay. Then we use 9B because our buckling class is B. Again we take interpolation between 60 and 70, and where we find out 68.44. So according to 9B we find out FCD Newton per mm square because it's the stress. And last step, design of compressive strength, PD. So PD is equal to A into FCD. So area effective is known, that FCD we found. So PD is 1660.84 kilonewton, greater than our actual data. It means 1500 kilonewton. It means our trial section is resist 1660.84 kilonewton. We required 1500 kilonewton. So our section is safe against this resisting the load. Thank you.